Stomach sinking, she raised her eyes and saw Hart, William, and Borden gawking down at the book with the same expression, having clearly read along. Slowly, Sophie turned and looked at Ryan, who had been watching her the whole time with a sly smirk. The carriage pulled up to the church, and the king clasped her palm gently, as if he no longer expected any resistance. Then he opened the door to a roar like thunder, and he kissed Sophie's hand like he was her fairy tale prince. Sophie, blessing in disguise. If any of them move, kill them, Ryan ordered the scream on Hart's ear, leaving Hart, William, and Borden trapped in the carriage with the sadistic ear. The second the door closed, Sophie could see the screen start slashing at the moist four spots and Hart fending it off with kicks and punches as the driver moved the carriage down the road and out of sight. Ryan was guiding her towards the church now, past the pen of royal transports from other kingdoms, including crystal carriages, magic carpets, flying broomsticks, levitating ships, and a giant slobbery toad. A cool wind blew through the darkening courtyard, and Sophie hunched deeper into her white dress. She could feel Ryan puff his chest, posturing for the crowd outside, but their attentions suddenly seemed distracted, their eyes fixed overhead. What's happening? Ryan murmured to Bieber, his pirate guard at the door, as he put Sophie into the church. Bieber hustled to find out. Meanwhile, the leaders from other kingdoms rose from the pews as Ryan took the time to greet each one. You say you have caught Tetro's princess, spoke an imposing black-skinned elf with pointed ears, dressed in a ruby and diamond jeweled tunic. No truth to the stories of a rebel army, then. The only truth is that Agatha's whimpering in my dungeons as we speak, said Ryan. And you still think that she and Tetris were behind the snake's attacks? That they were funding his flux? The elf asked. It's a bold claim that you made to the Kingdom Council. I can't say that all of us believe it. The attacks have ceased, haven't they? Said Ryan briskly. I think Agatha and Tetris being in my prison has something to do with it. The elf scratched his ear, mulling this over. Sophie noticed a silver ring on his hand, carved with unreadable symbols. While we are on the subject of the Kingdom Council, Ryan prompted, have you given any further thoughts to my proposal? No further fuss is necessary. Lancement may be inspiring the people of the woods, but the school for good and evil is our history, said the elf, his accent firm and crisp. Dismantle the school and the historian has no protection. It has no purpose. Its tales of the graduates of the school are the bedrock of the woods. Its tales teach our world the lessons we need to learn and move our woods forward, one story at a time. Your pen can't replace that, no matter how much people are taken with your message. Ryan smiled. And yet, what if Lion's Mane rose a story in the sky for all to see about the mighty elf king of Labourthorpe and how nobly he rules his people? A people who are here were quite resentful that you didn't do more to stop the snake's attacks. Perhaps I'll have your votes then. The elf king stared at Ryan. Then he smiled at big white teeth and thumped him on the back. Politics on your blessing day? Ah, shouldn't you be introducing me to your lovely bride? I only save her for Alice, Ryan teased, and the elf king laughed. Smiling blandly behind them, Sophie found herself distracted by the church facade, newly painted, and its lavish stained glass, depicting Ryan's laying of the snake with holy reverence. Stone airways painted with gold lions befurled along the walls, cooling the hot summer's drafts. A perilously old chaplain with a red nose and hairy ears waited at the altar, and behind him were two thrones where the king and princess would sit while he gave the blessing. To the left of the altar huddled the church choir in white uniforms and page boy hats, and to the right hung a cage of tweeting doves, which the priests would free into the woods at ceremony's end. Lucky little doves, Sophie thought. Suddenly, people rushed forward and accosted Ryan as he greeted the king of Frostwood. Lion's Mane, sir. Yeah, new message. It's moving. Sophie's eyes widened. Impossible. Ryan nodded, releasing Sophie and prowling back through the church doors as Sophie hurried after him. The moment she stepped outside, she saw the crowd's faces cocked towards the sky, watching Lion's Mane's message about Agatha's capture. The letters seemed to be quivering against the black storm clouds. Definitely moving, Sophie whispered.